Abbott's booby. This large endangered seabird lives only on Christmas Island. Australasian pipit. This grassland bird also thrives in human-made grasslands like gardens and playing fields. Australasian shoveler. This bird's Maori name, Kuruwangi, means snuffle. Australian ibis. In urban areas, this bird is nicknamed bin chicken for its habit of eating trash. Australian magpie. These territorial birds will swoop at humans who get too close to their nests. Australian owlet nightjar. This small nocturnal bird is also known as the moth owl, but it is not an owl. Australian raven. Ravens will cache extra food under debris in grass tussocks or in the soil. Australian reed warbler. These birds like to perch on dense vertical wetland vegetation like reeds and rushes. Australian shelduck. These birds nest in tree cavities, holes in banks, or similar locations. Australian zebra finch. Zebra finches will nest in colonies of as many as 50, building round nests with a side entrance. Black noddy. A large shoal of fish may attract a flock of 5,000 or more noddies. Black swan. These birds were introduced to New Zealand from Australia in the 1860s. Black-shouldered kite. In their mating display, a female kite will grab food from a male's talons while flipping upside down. Blythe's hornbill. Hornbills will occupy a cockatoo nest and kick out the cockatoos. Brolga. Brolgas are famous for their elaborate mating dances. Brown falcon. Brown falcons have a powerful notched bill designed to kill prey with a bite to the spine. Budgerigar. Budgies learn specific group calls that help them find their group within vast flocks. Cockatiel. Australia banned the export of cockatiels and other birds in 1894 because of poaching for the pet trade. Count Raji's bird of paradise. A bird of paradise is featured on the flag of Papua New Guinea. Crested pigeon. Taking advantage of grain farming, this gregarious pigeon has greatly expanded its range in Australia. Crimson chat. These birds may track rains in small flocks to find areas where food is more abundant. Eastern rosella. This technicolor parrot is native to Australia and Tasmania. It has been introduced to New Zealand. Eastern whipbird. This secretive bird's call is a long note followed by a whip-crack-like noise. Emu. Some indigenous cultures see an emu in the clouds of the Milky Way. It emerges at nesting time. Gala. A noisy idiot might be called a gala after these gregarious, playful birds. Golden-headed cisticola. The cisticola constructs well-camouflaged nests out of leaves and spider silk. Gold's finch, also known as Goldian finches. These birds are bred as pets but are rare in the wild. Green pygmy goose. This bird's scientific name, Pulchellus, is derived from the Latin word for pretty. Gray butcherbird. If prey is too large to eat whole, the butcherbird will store it and tear it into pieces. Gray shrike thrush. This bird is neither a shrike nor a thrush, but it is a predatory bird with a beautiful song. Gray teal. During drought, these birds may travel great distances to find water. Gray warbler. Gray warblers build a pear-shaped nest with the side entrance near the top. Gray-headed manakin. These birds use grass to build ball-shaped nests high in trees. Horsefield's bronze cuckoo. This cuckoo mainly lays eggs in fairy wren nests, but it will also parasitize other small birds. Horsefield's bushlark. There are 90 species of larks in the world, but this is the only one native to Australia. Kakapo. This flightless nocturnal parrot is endangered. It only reproduces every 3 years or so. Kea. These endangered parrots have been observed making and using tools. Kelp gull. This southern gull's Latin name refers to Dominican monks who wear black and white robes. Kariru. This large fruit-eating pigeon also eats flowers and leaves. Koramako. Also known as bellbirds, these are one of many species that benefit from control of invasive rats. Laughing kookaburra. The name for this large kingfisher comes from Gugubara in Wiradjuri, an Aboriginal language. Lesser frigate bird. Frigate birds love to eat fish and squid, but they also eat seabird eggs. Lewin's honeyeater. Artist John Lewin came to New South Wales in 1800 to record the birds and insects there. Little penguin. These penguins dive to catch fish, sometimes as deep as 50 meters. Little pied cormorant. This common diving bird is also called the little shag, or its Maori name, Kawalpaka. Magpie lark. Expanding agriculture has helped the magpie lark even as it has harmed forest-dwelling animals. Major Mitchell's cockatoo. These cockatoos can form large nomadic flocks, but often forage in small groups. Malleefowl. A malleefowl mound nest holds the record for largest ground nest, weighing 299 metric tons. Maned duck. In autumn, flocks of maned ducks may spend over half the day eating to build up their fat reserves. Many-colored fruit dove. This dove depends on 2 species of fig trees for most of its diet. Masked lapwing. These birds defend their nests with loud calls and swooping attacks using the spurs on their wings. Mistletoe bird. Mistletoe fruits make up about 85% of this bird's diet. Musk duck. This duck's musky odor comes from a gland on its rump, not the hanging lobe of skin under its bill. New Holland honeyeater. Honeyeaters are important pollinators of several plant species. Noisy miner. These birds are cooperative breeders, with as many as 22 males attending a nest. North Island brown kiwi. The brown kiwi's egg grows to take up 20% of the mother's body mass before being laid. Orange-footed scrub fowl. The mound nests of scrub fowl may be as tall as 4.5 meters. Pacific black duck. Competition with non-native mallards has severely reduced this species' numbers in New Zealand. Peaceful dove. This bird is sometimes called the doodle-doo because of its distinctive song. Pesquet's parrot. This bird went viral on the internet as the Dracula parrot. Pheasant cuckoo. Unlike most other cuckoos, the pheasant cuckoo is not a nest parasite. Pink-eared duck. These ducks sometimes spin around in pairs to concentrate food in a vortex. Plains wanderer. This critically endangered bird is the only species in the family Pedionomidae. Princess Stephanie's astrapia. This bird was named in honor of Princess Stephanie of Belgium in 1884. Pukeko. These birds, also known as swamp fins, may form social groups that share nests and chick-raising duties. Rainbow lorikeet. Some wild lorikeets are so accustomed to humans they can be hand-fed. Red wattlebird. These noisy, aggressive birds will drive off smaller birds from a good nectar source. Red-backed fairy wren. These birds have been used to study the role that testosterone plays in breeding plumage. Red-capped robin. These robins get their red pigment from food. Red plumage shows that they are healthy and well-fed. Red-necked avocet. As avocets sweep their bills from side to side through water, they snap up small invertebrates for food. Red-winged parrot. The male of this species has a blue back that he reveals in his mating display. Regent bowerbird. Bowerbirds decorate their bowers with items like paint, shells, and buttons to attract a mate. Royal spoonbill. Spoonbills nest in colonies, often alongside many other water birds. Rufous night heron. In addition to invertebrates and fish, night herons eat eggs and chicks of other wetland birds. Rufous owl. This large owl will eat prey as large as possums, scrub fowl, and parrots. Rufous-banded honeyeater. Honeyeaters have a brush-tipped tongue that they use to gather nectar from flowers. Sacred kingfisher. Despite this bird's name, fish make up a small portion of its diet. Silvereye. This bird's name comes from the ring of white feathers around its eye. South Island robin. These robins search for insects on the ground, then cache extras on branches and in crevices. Southern cassowary. These aggressive birds are important for dispersing the seeds of large fruits in the rainforest. Spangled drongo. This bird makes its own distinctive calls, but also mimics other bird species. Splendid fairy wren. These birds make dome-shaped nests with the side opening, often in a low bush. Spotless crake. The crake's eyes turn bright red as it matures. Stubble quail. This common quail's kidneys are adapted to need very little water. Sulfur-crested cockatoo. While a flock of cockatoos is on the ground to feed, one bird often keeps guard from above. Superb lyrebird. Male lyrebirds attract mates with their huge tails and an extraordinary ability for mimicry. Tawny frogmouth. These nocturnal birds are masters of camouflage and are often mistaken for broken tree branches. Tui. Maori were known to train these highly territorial birds to imitate human speech. Wedge-tailed eagle. These eagles can take large prey, including possums, kangaroos, and wallabies. Welcome swallow. This bird's name refers to it heralding spring in southern Australia. White-bellied sea eagle. These eagles are skilled fishers and hunters, but also harass smaller raptors and steal prey. White-breasted wood swallow. These wood swallows often perch in a tightly packed row when at rest. White-faced heron. These widespread herons can sometimes be found raiding suburban fish ponds. Willy wagtail. This bird joins mixed species flocks and steals food from smaller birds. Wrybill. The wrybill's beak always curves to the right. The shape may aid it in foraging under rocks.